Hello book friends, how's it going? I've got a great book to share with you today. The book is called Vicious Little Snakes by Trilina Pucci. This is the second book in the, and I just looked it up and now I forgot the name of it. I think it's the Hillcrest Prep series. I'll make sure I put it in the title, the correct name. I read and did a video on the first book, which was Filthy Little Pretties, and now here we go with the second book. I will make sure that I include my video on Filthy Little Pretties in the description box below so you can check that out as well, because we are talking about a second book in the series and it picks up with characters that we met and we know from Filthy Little Pretties. I want to make sure that you understand, I don't think, and it's never my intention to give spoilers on my channel, but I do talk about the books in detail, the characters, the storyline. So I'm not going to give you, I know because in preparing for the video, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but if you want to get to know the characters better, I highly suggest you read the first book. That will lay the groundwork, and you will, in my opinion, need a little bit of that to dive into this second book, Vicious Little Snakes. Vicious Little Snakes is about Caroline and Liam. We know Caroline and Liam already. There is a group of 5 friends, Gray, Donovan, Liam, Caroline, and Kai. They have been friends. They go to school together. Technically, they're in senior year of high school. They've known each other a long time. Kai is kind of new to the group. I really like him. He's provided not comedic relief, but he provided some balance to this story in particular with Caroline that I felt like I really needed. So Filthy Little Pretties is basically about Gray, Donovan, and Liam with Caroline mixed in there. And then now, like I mentioned, Vicious Little Snakes is primarily Liam and Caroline, but yet we do very much see the other members of the friend group, which I love. I am going to admit right out of the gate here that this was a hard book for me to read. And if you've read the first book, then you know what Caroline is like. She is a character that I could not connect with much at all in the first book, in Filthy Little Pretties. She is very complicated, and I hate to say hard to like, but hard to like. And I was so excited to read Vicious Little Snakes because I wanted to see where Trilina took her story. I wanted Trilina to pull back. Oh wait, did I say that it was by Trilina Pucci? Okay, sorry. My mind is going like a mile a minute. So I wanted to see where Trilina took her story, and I wanted her to peel back those layers. I like that kind of a challenge in a character. I want to like the characters. I don't have to like them. I want to like them. And Caroline was really complicated for me because I didn't like her. But I wanted to know her. I wanted to understand her. And I was anxious to see if that could happen. So if you know anything about Caroline, you know that she's kind of a mean girl. And me, being the psychology kind of intuitive kind of person that I think I am at this point in my life, I want to know what makes someone tick. I want to know what makes someone the way they are. Everyone has a story, and I wanted to know what Caroline's was. We get that in this book, most definitely, and I really liked that. But it was hard for me because I didn't find the mothering feelings that I thought I would end up having for Caroline at all in this book. That's not to say that I didn't like her, but I really honestly didn't connect with her on any level. Who I connected with was Liam. And I liked him so much in Filthy Little Pretties. I really did. And I liked him again and it continued. My relationship with him continued in Vicious Little Snakes. But I didn't understand where the two of them could ever be together. But we got hints of that in Filthy Little Pretties, so I knew there was something. I was anxious to see where their relationship developed and where they found a connection. We learned all of that in the book, and I really liked knowing all that. It really helped me look at Caroline with a lens that I needed to. But as it's so interesting to me is that, to me, a lot of, how do I say this? It's usually, I don't like to put things in boxes, but often when we read a story that is about a character like Caroline, it's a man. And I found it so interesting that this story, with the complicated personality that she has, is about a teenager. Caroline is like 17 or 18 years old, and she's already dealing with the life that she has. Wow. I mean, that just blew my socks off. The way this story is this group of friends they live in New York City. They are the very high society, more money than they know what to do with, very prominent families. That's their world. So they go to this uber prestigious prep school. They have the world at their feet. They can basically do whatever they want. They will never want for money. But yet, with all of that comes these expectations that they are expected as the children of these families, the next generation of these families, to fulfill. That complicates things for all of them. I liked that part of the story as well. That's very interesting. So what she has gone through in her young life and what made her the way she is as a late teenager, becoming a young woman, wow. I mean, Trilina wrote it with to make these feelings that I had. It like exacerbated those feelings, and I just was like kind of blown away by all that. I really liked how in the beginning of the book, Trilina gives us a cheat sheet she gives us a little bit of a recap, and then a cheat sheet as to parts of Filthy Little Pretties that you should read before you read Vicious Little Snakes. I feel like that was important, and I'm glad she did that. But right away, we just jump into where Filthy Little Pretties leaves off, and there's this major encounter that the friend group is in, and it's the fallout from that situation that's really important that you understand, because that will help you realize why the feelings that Liam is having and Caroline is having and Donovan and Gray are having and Kai, quite frankly, are having towards Caroline and Caroline's response to that. But I didn't know what was the attraction between Caroline and Liam. I wanted to learn all that. This was Liam. Caroline was my first muse and doesn't even know it. I saw her here at the Met, hands fastened behind her, staring at John Everett Milius's Ophelia, a painting on loan from the damn Tate. She looked so small, hair pulled back by a ribbon that matched her eyes, standing so still, not at all like the other kids running around the museum during our field trip. Caroline was never like the other kids, always more of an adult in a child's body. God, she seemed almost as immovable as the woman floating in my favorite painting. I don't think she even blinked. Caroline's all I remember about that day. It was that moment, me staring at her and her at that painting. That's when I was filled with this overwhelming desire to draw her. It wasn't so much desire, more like I was possessed by the need, so I did. If you've ever seen that painting, and if I can find an image, I will, of course, pop it up on the screen because it's a very moving painting. There's a feeling that you get that I have gotten looking. I have never seen that exact painting. I've never been to the Met, but I know what the painting is that they're talking about. And so painting that picture literally with her words like Trilina did there, and reading Liam watching that. Liam is a guy's guy. He's charming, he's handsome, he's cocky. He knows he has the world at his feet. But he's also a girl's guy in that he understands girls. And it's not like, of course, yes, he wants to get in all their pants, but he's also very sensitive and open and vulnerable, and that's due to his relationship with his mom, which I loved reading. And so to have him be attracted at this young age to her and seeing her, he says it all right there. She's always been more of an adult, and they're like 9 years old in this passage. So that was really interesting to me because he seems just like completely her opposite. And yet, what's that old saying? Opposites attract. This book is so freaking angsty. Oh my God. There is this element of unrequited love, but yet they both know each other wants each other. They won't let themselves go there on a more permanent level. They have been intimate before. They have had interactions before. They're best friends. But I never truly understood why they weren't going there. Why did Caroline feel like her love for Liam was unrequited? Why could she not drop the wall between them? Because she has, but why? What makes them not trust each other? What makes them not stay bonded? The angst kind of killed me. It was like, oh my God, please, I need something. Give me something. This is from Liam's perspective. This is why we're toxic, because we take out our hurt on each other, slicing over and over, always giving back as good as we get. But in the end, all we do is destroy each other. Caroline may have stopped cutting herself with razor blades, but she replaced it with me. So like, why do they keep hurting each other? Ugh. Why can't they move on and move forward or just not be together? I know some of that has to do with Caroline's personality. It has to do with the thing that I told you about before that happened in the cafeteria at school. It's a major event. But I wanted to know why. And then Liam talks about this with Donovan. I know that I'm unfair, Van, but I can't forgive her anymore. Don't ask me why, I just can't. She doesn't say anything, but I can feel her breathing. It's soothing. So I say more, even if it's effing eating me alive. Donovan yanks on my hoodie, twisting me to look at her. Liam. Her brows are drawn in, a frown on her face. Donovan's hands come to my fresh stubble on my cheeks. Talk to me. Why are you holding on to so tight? This is me and you, Brookie. How do I do that, Van? Her eyes almost break the seal on my tongue, but I swallow all the words down. Maybe another day. I grin, leaning in to brush her nose with mine, trying to change the subject. Hey, that was what's excellent reason number 3? Her expression doesn't change as her cheek rests against my chest. You'll break her. She'd have to have an effing heart to break, plus I only have room in mind for you. My lips brush the top of her forehead in a soft, chaste kiss, but she shakes my body, barely moving me, locking those big blue eyes on me. One day, Pooh, one day you'll forget that you loved me the most and find another bear. Donovan and Liam have this relationship that is so beautiful, and I really felt that in Filthy Little Pretties as well. It's just, Trilina excels at writing the love that friendship can have. And even though it was a little bit of a triangle, but was it ever really, between Gray and Donovan and Liam, the basis of all of their relationship, Gray and Liam's, Donovan and Gray's, Donovan and Liam's, and the 3 of them together, they have this understanding and this love for each other, I just adore. It gives me all the warm fuzzies inside. And there were quite a few moments like that between the two of them in this book, and also between Gray and Liam, that I just loved. And it really continued to hold the foundation stable for me to try to figure out what the hell is going on and why can't they just, meaning Caroline and Liam, just go for it. I so wanted them both to be happy, and I wasn't sure what my happily ever after, what I wanted that to be for them. I know that when I finished the end of this book, I really wanted to see them in the future. I want to see what Caroline Whitmore becomes as a young woman at 18 years old, how incredible she is and how much strength she has and poise and smarts. I want to see what she's like at 30 years old. And I want to see if Liam is there with her. Have they risen to the top and are this power couple? I want to see where they're going, because that to me was hard to envision in the very best way. And for me, I think that's where their happily ever after is wrapped up for me. At the end of this book, I was happy with how Trilina ended it, but it left me wanting more in a really good way. And they are truly two characters that go through, I mean, my stomach hurt a majority of this book. The angst and just what they were trying to sift through, because like I keep mentioning, they're teenagers. They're 18 years old. They don't even have, even though they are mature in a lot of ways, they don't even have the maturity that they will have at 25. But yet they're in this world where they are expected to act like adults and have their lives figured out and know the path that they are going on. There's not a lot of choices in there. There's this maturity that they are expected to have. And oh my gosh, I want to see them when they're 30 years old. And I think if I know where Caroline went in her life, that would help me wrap my arms around her as a character in a more complete way, because she was a lot. In some ways, I want to know, did love conquer all? I want to see where their yellow brick road is going. Trilina had some gold one-liners in this book, and I just want to mention two of them because they were amazing. I mean, the quick wit of Caroline was just bar none. Some of the things she said were incredibly hurtful and also, I mean, incredibly vicious, but my God, to have that wit that she had, she made me laugh so many times. She made me tear up and cry. She made my stomach hurt. Some of the one-liners that came out of her mouth were just gold. One of them was, if the devil had a brand, it would be Liam, and I would wait in line for it in the rain. And then the other one was shortly after, Jesus, he's so CW drama serious. So those were great. I want to also mention that there's a trajectory that you kind of assume is going to happen with a character like Caroline and the people around her. And something that I really, really loved, but I felt Trilina kept it so incredibly pure and true to Caroline form, is the relationship between Donovan and Caroline. Let me know if you have read Vicious Little Snakes or Filthy Little Pretties in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. While you're here, thank you for giving the video a thumbs up, and I would love to have you subscribe. When you do that, it will help this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. As always, I put a direct Amazon link in the description box below, so if you'd like to grab it, you can do it right from there. Don't forget to come over and say hello to me on my social media, which is katreadsromance on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye!